sentence him for more years. Yeah, in terms of like,
maybe.
in terms of Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Badly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, because it can happen like that in Chinese culture. Yeah, I mean,
because he is trying to intend to get away with it.
Yeah. So there's that guy. I mean, so there's quite a few people running now in this election,
and Colin West is certainly one of the most competitive ones.
It certainly is, isn't it? And there'll be most interest in that, I expect, in exactly in that, because that's going to be, I wouldn't like to call it actually, because knowing what Hong Kong politics can be like, who knows, the DAB might be trying to mobilise behind the scenes to get people to vote for anyone but Raymond and so on, and you never quite know. But certainly, I know Raymond and know he's got a very strong stronghold in Kowloon West. There's a lot of people who know, who can see the who knows what's really going on, and can see through a lot of the other candidates who let's be honest, they certainly haven't got the public's interest at heart, have they? They've got their own agenda.
Who was the Democrat candidate who got the most votes last time?
I can tell you, can describe how Kowloon West works, right? For example, if you choose the district from Cheung Sha Wan, Sham Shui Po, and Shek Kip Mei, DAB has only got 11% of votes throughout all the years. And they gave a lot of present and everything, and a lot of benefit, a lot of gifts to the citizens within that area, but only they can get 11% or throughout all the years. So you can see, like, especially in Shek Kip Mei, you got many. You can say Taiwanese, the old Taiwanese living in Hong Kong. So it's very strong, I can say. Yeah.
Yeah. And another observation, actually, looking at the Hong Kong Island one, and also looking at the two Civic Party, where the Civic Party members are standing. Obviously, the League of Social Democrats, they're not standing in that. There's been a prior agreement, but there's not that many other people standing in their contest, actually, and it's interesting that there haven't been any sort of independents or whoever willing to stand sort of as an anti-ticket or some sort of ticket against them, as it were. It's just them and the tertiary, the student guys, it looks like. Apart from that other guy who's come out, is it the Spencer Tai?
Thai boxer.
Spencer Tai Chuk Ying. Is that something to do with? He's got some agenda to do with Taiwan, isn't it, or something? I've read about. It was in the paper yesterday or today, I think. I
think the other guy, he was a former boxer, Thai boxer, Mr. Choi. He was also the pro Beijing one, but claimed to be independent. But never knows. I could tell it's just small potato.
And I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the turnout. Quite what will happen, because I expect in Kowloon West there will be quite a big turnout, actually, because they've got different people there. As regards to the other seats, I'm not too sure, actually. I wouldn't like to say. People, they're expecting there might be a relatively lower turnout, but I mean, who's to say about that? But going back to compare it to the UK election, there's one thing I was thinking this week is that comparing the way, just the general way that Hong Kong does things to the UK. I mean, to give you an idea, this week in the UK, the Prime Minister Gordon Brown announced we're going to have the election on May the 6th. And he
even earlier than the
exactly.
referendum.
And you think about that. It's a country of 60 million people, and they are mobilising to have an election for democracy, real democracy, for 60 million people, and they're going to do it all of that organising in 1 month.
Because they're much more experienced in that.
It is experience, but the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes I think, as a foreigner living in Hong Kong, that Chinese people, they tend to think that it needs years and years of planning to hold to become fully democratic, or to hold some kind of universal suffrage election and situation. And the point is, that just goes to show that if the UK can organise and have a whole election in the space of 1 month, why can't Hong Kong do it in a similar timescale? And
that's pretty ironic.
It is, isn't it? I mean, you think about this by-election. It's just a by-election actually, but let's be honest. It's been taken. It's been organised over a longer period actually than the general election in the UK.
Perhaps the government thought that they would give the referendum people much more time for campaign. They thought it's for your own good to give you more time to do promotion. But actually, it's quite ironic in the sense that if you see that Hong Kong people are usually well known for their efficiency, do things fast, efficient, quick. But this time you can see, I mean, you just made a good example. I mean, in the UK election, within 1 month time, there are going to be 3 televised debates. The next one will be next week already. And it wasn't that long ago that Gordon Brown called the election. I mean, so immediately everyone is so really get used to the 4-week a campaign period. And in Canada, for instance, the campaign wouldn't go longer than 6 weeks. I mean, usually 3 to 6 weeks. 6 weeks is quite a max. So this time you do have quite a long period. Perhaps also because people can register in the election earlier. Today is the deadline, so you can see that.
Yeah, I know. As a British guy, I'll be kind of following the UK election over the next few weeks. In the same way as the local Hong Kong election. I mean, do you think you'll take an interest in the British election?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
You will, yeah.
I'm same as you. I'm British citizen as well.
Right?
Yeah. But will you go back for vote?
I won't. No, I won't actually. But I did. I have always voted for the Labour Party actually. But it's going to be interesting this election. They're saying it's going to be the closest since 1992 actually. Yeah. Anyway, we've run out of time. Let's get back in a few moments in part 2.